let me give you a very short example, which just opened my mind at the beginning of my career of this particular stream, is that, so we speak about numerology, and just the very fact that numbers are always interacting with us. How? Let me give you an input on that. So if you look at your own human anatomy, which is right in front of you, if you will open your camera and just have a look at yourself, what magic is working through us, wherein we have two eyes and not three, or one nose with two nostrils and not two noses with three nostrils. So understanding all of this, I realized that, yes, it's true. We are made on some miraculous, mysterious, and also sacred numbers. You see, geometry, which I don't know about everybody else. When I was in school, it used to intimidate me. They made it all complicated. but when I started to understand the same geometry in terms of sacredness, in terms of it flowing through me, and decoding that through my numbers, through my date of birth, or through my name, everything just fell into place. And while I was doing that, while I went deeper into that, I already come from a background of research and also going deep into ancient wisdom. The combination that I saw of it over there, plus combining it with neurolinguistic programming and various other things, I just thought that, wow, this is a solution which needs to go out there to everybody who is looking to empower themselves, is looking to be aware and reverse the course of life, in terms of, instead of life living you, for you to live life. So that is how I got into this, and that is how I feel that numbers are very magical. Another example, you see, we speak about, like, everybody has heard, and these days it's out there on the internet, that one means this, two means that. But let me help you look at it within you, right? So what is that one organ that is one in our body? It's the heart, right? So heart is not a pair. It's not like we have two hearts. It's not dependent on something else for it to function. In terms of, yes, of course, it's connected with everything else, but in itself, it can work properly as well, which is how a number one person would also be, that they would be leaders. They can function on their own, versus somebody who's a number two. So what is a number two in our body? Let's look at kidneys. They come in a pair, right? They're interdependent on each other. It is said that one kidney can function without the other, but not optimally. And which is exactly what happens with number two, that they work in pairs. They prefer working in a team. They prefer having a plus one. So just this basic understanding, and then the combination of all of this working with us, which is actually decodable through our date of birth and through our name, it just opens up, like a box, which we now can use either to empower ourselves or to just be a slave to it. And I'm here to help you empower yourself with the same box of facilities that you're born with.
Lovely, lovely. And Neha, we so greatly appreciate that you're here to empower us with this. I know that you've helped many across time. However, what is the impact? The same thing that you are helping empower people with, what is the impact it has had in your life?
So you see, I belong to this background of corporate world. And in that too, I was doing sales. Now, sales, the thing with sales is that I'm sure every other work is hardcore as well, but mine is accountable on a daily basis. Like, what are the numbers that you're getting on the table according to which an organization functions? So my last assignment was with media. I was working with Hindustan Times. And while I was doing that, there came a point where I wanted to look around and do something else. Remember the curiosity that I was speaking about? Today, I know that from which number is it coming from? That was my blueprint. So the first thing that I did was actually to align my blueprint of that number with my identity. Now, what is my identity? How do you know me? You know me as Nehaa Goyal. You don't know me as my date of birth. That is something which is working at the background, right? Or if I introduce my birthday to you, which in itself is like, who does that? So my identity for you is, for everybody else, is my name. So the first thing that I did was that I aligned my name to myself, to my blueprint, and also what I wanted to do in my future. And for everybody else, including you, Neelu, have a look at my name. It has a double A, right? So NEH double A. And also my family spells Goyal as Goel. I spell it as Goyal. So basically, what am I doing? Now, when you look at my name, or now when I'm signing off anything with my name, I'm signing it off as my new identity, which is now aligned with my numerology blueprint. And that is how I have been able to successfully not just help myself, but others too. Because of, so it's often I think of it as, you know, how there were these cryptic ciphers in the ancient times, that if you would move them a particular way, they would click and there would be a secret message inside. That is exactly how I visualize numerology to be. That if somehow you are able to know that perfect alignment which you're supposed to do, it will click and your secret message will come out, which people call vision, they call life purpose, they call soul desire, whatever you can call it. That's how I've been able to use it.
Nice. You mentioned something, you mentioned blueprint, and I will come back to that. You also said, so you added an extra A and you now spell Goyal and write it very different from how your family writes it.
Right.
How did that decision making happen, that I have to add one more A and I'm going to change Goyal to this spelling because of this alignment? What was missing that you required this alignment?
Right. I think you actually touched the pulse here, Neelu, and which we are going to speak about today also, the missing point. So the cipher that I was speaking about, what is missing in my alignment, and how do I introduce it in my energy field? Because at the end of the day, all of us humans are energy field. It's been proven by science that we all exude some energy, that the spoken words that we have, that has energy. So while I'm speaking, there's a vibration which is coming out. So while I say Neelu, it's a particular vibration which is coming out. Or even while I read your name, Neelu, there's a particular vibration which is clicking in my brain, right? With which I have sealed you, or I have identified you. And imagine if there is a frequency which is missing in this entire blueprint, but however, I have a particular vision. And if only I introduce this energy, I will be able to click my cipher, which will now open and the secret message will reveal. That is, I think, was one of my biggest takeaway from numerology, that can I introduce that energy in my field with external resources and help myself not just align my life to the purpose, also kind of try and make it a bit easier for me, because why should everything be tough, right? I mean, I'm not saying that it immediately stepped into that easiness, like the karmic imprints do play out as they do, but still, it just fastened the process. Wherein a missing number, I mean, if this particular frequency, which I introduced thus from my name, and it can be introduced to various things depending upon the calculations and what we want at that particular point in our life. Once we do that, and once we start engaging with that field on a regular basis, where there are techniques to do that, and we introduce that missing number in our entire system, we are able to decipher, or let's say, just open up the doors of opportunity for ourselves.
Nice.
So missing number, that was the pulse.
Nice, interesting. And you mentioned frequency quite often. By frequency here, the number is the one that's giving the frequency, and therefore the rest that falls into place.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. We'll want to come back to this as well, because there's like so much running through the head right now. I do want to come back to the fact that you mentioned this thing called blueprint. So what is blueprint? What is this? What is this numerology blueprint that you're talking about? Like, what is it and how important is it?
Okay, so what is a blueprint? What is a blueprint of, so we've heard of a blueprint of a house or a building, right? So what is it? It's a foundational thing around which everything else is built. That is exactly
foundational design.
Exactly.
Right.
That is exactly what numerology blueprint is also, around which you are built, around which your life circumstances are built. around which your entire karmic play out is built. And I would want to help you as a neuro-linguistic programming coach. I will want to help you visualize it. So if you would look at this screen in a minute, and for everybody's focus to be here as well. So when you look at this picture, okay, what is the feeling that you all get? Do type either in the comment section or in the Telegram group, and I'll read it out. When you look at this picture of this person with all these ties trying to do stuff, what is the feeling? What is the feeling that you get?
I'll take you through that, Neha. We'll get back. There's Diksha says, in a hurry. Shruti says, stuck in his own race. Vikram says, sad, stressed, tense, in a hurry. Mamta says, speed. Interesting.
Yes. Yes. Very, very interesting. So when you look at this person, the kind of things which comes to our mind is that this person is running for something. There's a lot of energy being utilized in doing something. And we also see stress on his face, right? Now,
Bhuvnesh is actually, Neha, written saying, getting obstacles in reverse. And Jyoti, as you just said, running. Jyoti has also written running.
Yes.
And Achal, all questions on the Telegram group, please, all comments on the Telegram group. Thank you. Yes, Neha.
Right. You see, so as we say that, like in Hindi, they say, no, life ki daud mein bhag rahe hain. They're running the race of life. That's exactly what it feels like. Now, let me help you have a look at this other picture, which I want to show you.
And let me just tell you very quickly, Neha, Nikki's written being held back. Somebody else has written tied up at different points. Someone says struggling, and somebody else whose name is only actually showing up as a number is has written saying running for life. And Rajnikant says trying to move ahead, but pull back. All right. And here's the next image that you asked for.
Right. Okay. Now, what does this picture, how does this picture where this lady is tethered and is also free flowing, how does this picture make you feel?
Well, at first glance, it's almost like there's a free fall happening. But if you actually look at it, there's a safety harness there as well.
Right.
Right. So Jyoti is written
right.
Freedom. Shruti is written excited. Vikram's written happy, relaxed, bold, free. Vandana says fulfillment. Jashi says free fall yet safe. And Nikki says freedom.
Absolutely. So free fall yet safe. Now coming back to your question, Neelu, that what exactly is a blueprint? When we do not know our blueprint, when we do not know our base, our strengths, our weaknesses, it often feels like that we are running the race of life visionlessly. That it's almost as if something is tying us back and we wish we knew better, how to make better decisions, how to live a more aligned life, how to know the cryptic message with which I am born so that I can put myself on those decision-making paths. That is when you feel the way you do in the first place. And once you know these karmic imprints, once you know your blueprint, it's almost as if somebody has handed you the manual of your life to help you understand that, hey, honey, these are your motivations. This is what you need to know. This is what you can expect in the coming days. This is your vibration, your frequency. These are your strengths, opportunities, weaknesses. You will still have the circumstances which are coming to you, but now they will feel as if that person is now bungee jumping. Like with some faith, there is freedom, there is fulfillment, and there is a sense of I am now being taken care of, because maybe certain things do not show up to me right away, but I know eventually it's aligned to my purpose and I will make it happen. That's the difference. That is the blueprint, and that's the difference between somebody who knows it and somebody who's yet to discover.
Interesting, interesting. And I loved the connotation that came in with just looking at the image, because I think made a huge difference. Because like you said, blueprint, what's holding you back from your safely secured free fall? Safely secured free fall. What's holding you back? This is the frequency that is not in alignment, and that is why your numerology blueprint is important. And this is where, again, frequency would be, for example, the missing numbers, the frequencies that are missing, and therefore your full capacity is not there.
Yes, your full potential is not coming out. If
Potential.
only, how sometimes we sit back and we say, if only I had, if
Right.
only, my career would have been good, if only my family support was there, or I knew how to make better emotionally balanced decision. That's the magic of missing number that I have seen. And also people whom I've worked with have seen that when that is introduced, what happens, what changes and shifts.
Right. Right. And of course, people, we will get to experience this in a quick bit as well. Few more questions for Neha, especially for all of your understanding. I do want to ask very quickly, Neha, there are numbers and then there are numbers. So do you have like a favorite number?
Right. Yeah, beautiful numbers 1 to 9, all are my favorite. Yes, I know it might sound like a cliche answer. However, Neelu, I have experienced in my personal life and also with what I know in terms of my qualification as a numerologist, that every number has a power. Every number has an energy. Now, it just depends that one, as we have been discussing, that how aligned are we with that energy and how we are utilizing that particular energy. So I have seen beautiful results with couple of such numbers which generally are popular for being tough. I have also seen reverse results in terms of experiences in life for those numbers which are generally considered to be good numbers to have or lucky numbers to have. So as a whole, I have realized it does not, if I know how to utilize the energy of that particular number well, I can bring out something or scoop out something from all these numbers. Therefore, all numbers are favorite for me.
Right. You just mentioned, the apparently difficult numbers and the apparently easy numbers. You've seen them. That's how they're generally known. You've seen the reverse happening. Give us an example, Neha.
Yeah. So, okay. So, you know how generally there is a bad press for number 8 and number 4, that wherein number 8 brings in delays. It's Saturnian number. Number 4 is Rahuvian number. So it brings in a lot of instability. And wherein, on the other hand, there is a lot of good press for something like a number 1 or a number 3, that 1 brings in leadership qualities, 3 brings in wisdom. I have often seen number 8 doing beautifully. Like once you know that your missing link, the missing number that we were speaking about, that once in your blueprint, you know your missing number and other remedies, supported with other remedies, the same number 8 will shower you with blessings, will shower you with financial support, stability, and decision-making power. 8 is a number of power. How to reach that highest power. Similarly, as I said that, even number 3, I have seen people having, for example, if number 3 is multiple times in a particular chart, in a numerology chart, that can give liver issues. That can give issues of overqualification, but always thinking that I don't know enough. So it's all about how we use it. It's all about what I need to introduce in my life through missing numbers. And it's all about what I need to let go of in my life, or even with what I have, even if it is in a balance where to utilize what. So once you decipher or uncrypt that message of yours, you can make use of every number.